It's no secret that homes aren't affordable right now. I feel like everywhere I turn, there's a video or a news article about how homes aren't affordable. So is there a way that you can buy a home in a year, regardless of market conditions? Yes, and this is how you can do it. So first off, you want to start researching and planning. To make sure you're planning correctly, I would reach out to some professionals. I would talk to a lender or two or three. What I want to find out from a lender is, where do I stand financially and what can I do to improve my chances of buying a home in a year and get the best lending terms? Some common items to work on are your credit score and savings for closing costs and a down payment. Let's focus on your credit score first. Improving your credit score can maximize your affordability by lowering your interest rates. Most lenders prefer a credit score of around 640 or higher. Higher credit scores generally result in better borrowing terms, including lower interest rates and more available programs. Once you get into about the 740 to 760 range, you typically can get the lowest interest rate. I know some people don't like to have their credit pulled, which I completely understand, but in this case, I think it makes sense because then you can find out where you stand and if you need to work on your credit. I found that sometimes different lenders can sort of specialize in certain situations. So for instance, some lenders may be really good with helping their clients work on their credit. Others might be really good for getting loan programs for people who are independent contractors, for instance. So choosing a lender that is best suited to help you with your particular situation is best. Another thing a lender can help you with is your general financial readiness. A lender can review your income and debts to see if there's anything you should work on. For instance, let's say you have some credit card debt. They might be able to guide you on what you should do with that debt. Should you just pay it all off if you can, or maybe pay it down a bit to help lower the minimum payment? If you have a car payment, does it make sense to pay it off now to help with your debt to income ratio, or should you save the money for your down payment? These are all scenarios that a lender can help guide you through. What you're trying to do is make yourself an ideal candidate to get a loan. Before we go further, I do want to mention something here. Obviously, affordability is subjective. What's affordable to one person may not be affordable to another person. For some people, homes weren't affordable 4 years ago, and they certainly aren't affordable now. Also, we have different things going on. So let's say you talk to a lender and they suggest you improve your credit score by 200 points. Or maybe you'll need to wait until a foreclosure is taken off your credit report. Your timeline may not be a year, but I still think you can use these techniques to better prepare to buy a home further down the line. Now let's talk about savings. You can get advice from your lender on what your savings should be. Another thing your lender can help you with is finding down payment assistance or closing cost assistance for you. This is where contacting a real estate agent could come in handy. If you need help finding one, I can help you. The link is in the description. A real estate agent might know a particular lender that's really good at finding down payment or closing cost assistance programs. These programs can be pretty nuanced, so it's helpful to have someone in your corner that's very familiar with them. The agent may also be able to point you in the right direction to find some programs that you might qualify for. You can speak with your lender about different loan programs. Maybe a 0% down USDA loan could be a good fit for you. There are a lot of options out there for all kinds of different situations. Working closely with your lender and real estate agent can help you achieve your goals. I talk more about how lenders and real estate agents can help you in my free home buying course. The link is in the description. Now that you've researched and started your planning, I would set goals and create an action plan. So if your goal is to get a 640 credit score and you currently have a 600, what can you do? Sometimes your lender can give you some great suggestions. You could also consult a credit repair company or a similar service. There's also a lot of great tips online, like paying down your credit balance, setting up automatic payments so you don't miss a payment, and avoiding opening up any new credit. So set a goal and plan out how you're going to achieve it. Then I would set up a savings plan. You learn from your lender how much money you may need to qualify to buy a home and the down payment and closing cost amounts. So how can you achieve that goal? I found that making a budget can be really helpful. Of course, you can do it the old school way and just write it all out, or use apps or services like Mint or You Need a Budget. There's a bunch of stuff out there. Some are free, some are paid. I would go through my finances and see if there's anything you can cut out or trim down. Everyone loves to use the example of cutting out your Starbucks habit. If if you save $6 a day for a year, you can buy a mansion, right? All that kind of stuff. But seriously, if you scrutinize your budget, you may be able to find some ways to cut out some spending. Now, I live in the world, so I understand that things have gotten really expensive in the past few years, and you may already be running on fumes and you can't cut anything out. And I completely get it. Depending on your finances, it might be good to talk with a financial advisor. They may be able to help you find ways to save money. There are scenarios that come up where people really need to buy a home and will do anything to save money for a home. As an example, I had a client where his wife was expecting and he didn't like the small apartment that they lived in and the neighborhood. He was willing to do anything to be able to buy a home before the baby came. So something to consider is getting another job to help save money. Obviously, I don't say that lightly. I know that's a huge commitment, but for some people, it might be something that makes sense. If you're able to, you can cut your current home expenses by moving in with family, assuming they let you live there for rent-free or a deep discount. If dad's trying to rent at market value, that's not going to work. My wife and I lived with her family for about 9 months before we bought our first home, and it really fast-tracked us to being able to buy a home. So it's something to consider if you're able to. By having a strong credit score and a strong financial foundation, aka money saved up, you're setting yourself up to be a strong candidate to buy a home in the very near future. You also want to research your local real estate market. You essentially want to become a housing expert, or at least work closely with one. That's where working with a real estate agent can be really helpful. You want to find someone who's familiar with the local market and can help guide you through the home buying process, from how to find the best deals on homes to how to negotiate the best terms. You want all of your hard work to pay off, so working closely with your real estate agent to find the best deals and terms for your new home is really important to have a successful real estate transaction. By researching, planning, goal setting, acting on your plan, and some sacrifice, you can buy a home in a year regardless of market conditions. It's not easy. There aren't any hacks in my opinion. It's hard work, but having your homeownership dreams come true can be worth it. Check out this video to learn how to buy a home, or this playlist about the home buying process. If you have any real estate questions, my contact information is in the description below. Thanks for watching all the way to the end, especially if you're a subscriber.